Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, when we live in this world, we are always doing something, collecting something. What are that? What are those? What is that? Either good karma or bad karma. If somebody doesn't know the Dhamma, they don't know whether they are collecting good karma or bad karma. Somebody knows the Dhamma, so they have opportunity to get the. They have opportunity to collect good karma, right? So always collect good karma, and when you collect that, let's say that somebody got some anger, right? So it is the best way to think always the three refuge, going for three refuge and try to remove Dhamma. For example, if you got angry, it is usually that this mind is not developed, we will get anger, right? So think in this way, but what is the way we can think? Our Supreme Buddha, so he did not have any kind of anger. He eradicated anger. And he preached the Dhamma to eradicate the Dhamma, anger. Right? Even how Buddha said, somebody comes and cut off our limbs, if you got angry, so we are not following my teachings. And even the Supreme Buddha's disciples who followed this path, they eradicated this anger. So by thinking this way, you are trying to eradicate or try to remove your anger. So you are going refuge to Buddha, refuge to Dhamma and Sangha, and also try to protect the precepts. So this is called somebody who became Sotapanna. He has unshakable confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. He is completing, he is protecting precepts, right? Always there's a good practice. Thinking the Buddha and his teachings and all the monks who achieved enlightenment, they followed that path. So if you get anger or any delusion, right? So fear or sometimes some lust, think in that way. So that is good way to practice. Now, by thinking that Buddha's teachings and the Supreme Buddha and his teachings and all the sanghas who followed that path and purified their life and attained supreme bliss of Nibbana, so they followed that path. Today we are going to learn the Sutta, which is very, very important for our day-to-day life, and always we can recollect those things, and by recollecting this one we can gain a lot of benefit to our life. So that is the Sutta Buddha explained, and some things we can always think, right? 5 things we can always think. So think about that. This is called the themes. Oh, in Pali it is called Ṭhāna Sutta. So Ṭhāna Sutta, it is in Anguttara Nikaya. So I will share with you that sutta. We can go through with this sutta with more details. Okay. All right. So let me share with you this sutta. It is in Anguttara Nikaya. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Bhante.
Okay. Buddha explained, because there are these 5 themes that should often be reflected upon by a woman or man, by householder or once gone forth, somebody who became monks or nun. They always recollect these 5 themes. Okay. The first one, a woman or man, a householder or one gone forth should often reflect as, thus, I am subject to old age. I am getting older. I am not exempt from old age. I am getting older. I am not exempted from that. So, a man or woman, householder or one gone forth, even monks and nuns, they always should reflect this one. So, I am subject to illness. I am getting sick. I am not exempt from illness. Then third one, Buddha explained, again a woman or man, householder or one gone forth, should often reflect thus, I am subject to death. I am not exempt from death. I will die sooner or later. Usually people don't like to think in the Western world, so I will die sooner or later. Okay. Number 4, a woman or man, householder or one gone forth, should often reflect thus, I must be parted and separated from every one and everything dear and agreeable to me. Whatever agreeable to me, whether it is person or their family members, your husband, wife, or your children, maybe that there are things like your house, your properties, your money. So whatever you have, ownings, your own things, you have to say goodbye to them, right? Whether we like it or not. Number 5, a woman or man, a householder or one gone forth should often reflect thus, I am the owner of my karma. The heir of my karma. I have karma as my origin, karma as my relative, karma as my resort. I'll be the heir of whatever karma, good or bad, that I do. This is the 5 things would explain we always think, always we have to reflect. The first thing, we have to think that, oh, we are getting older, right? We are not exempt from that. And we are getting sick. I am getting sick. As an individual, we have to be, I am getting sick. I am not exempt from that. So I will die. I am not exempt from that. I have to say goodbye to my loved ones and loved things. And I am the owner of the karma, right? Karma is my resort, heir of my karma. So karma as my origin, karma as my resort. And so whatever karma I do, good or bad, so I will get the result of that. These 5 things Buddha explained, we have to think always. Why he is saying this one, right? Why he is saying this one? So now again, in this sutta, Buddha explained why he is saying this one. For the sake of what benefit should a woman or man, a householder or one gone forth, often reflect that, thus, I am subject to old age, I am not exempt from old age. In their youth, beings are intoxicated with their youth. When people are young, they are intoxicated with that, right? They never think that I am getting older. So they do bad things, okay? And when they are intoxicated with their youth, they engage in misconduct by body, speech, and mind. But when one often, young people, they do all this because of they are intoxicated. Intoxicated is they are not in a normal mind. They are like taking that intoxicants. They are intoxicated, right? So their mind is intoxicated because being youth, right? They are intoxicated with youth, right? They never think that they are getting older. So they old, they get as a joke, they do bad things to all men and women, right? So, and they don't think, and they engage, they break the precepts, engage sexual misconduct, right? So they do all kind of bad things. Okay, then there are so many abortions in this world now, and so they do because they don't think they are getting older, right? Uh, so when somebody thinks that way, often reflects upon this theme, the intoxication with juice is either completely abandoned or diminished. Somebody thinks, this is the way Buddha's superior knowledge, he taught us the way to think. Okay, otherwise we don't know. No. So when we think that we are getting older, that according to today's tradition, it is a negative thing, that kind of thinking. We always should think that we are young, even though we are older. Our heart is young, right? So, but however, Buddha is teaching us some different way to think. Okay, why he is teaching this one? Because with the their youth, the youth, they are intoxicated with the youth. They do bad things. Okay, so either body, speech, or mind, they do bad things. Then somebody is thinking that way, either he completely abandoned or diminished. That is the reason Buddha is saying, woman or man, householder, or one gone forth should often reflect thus, I am subject to old age. I am not exempt from old age, right? What are the things we can do that bodily conduct, bodily bad bodily conduct, bad verbal conduct, bad mental conduct, right? So, and just to explain more details, I will share with you another document, okay? Just to show you. So what are these good and bad bodily conduct? Killing beings, stealing, engaging in sexual misconduct, right? So these are the bad bodily conduct people do. And what are the good bodily conduct? Abstain from killing and abstain from stealing, abstain from sexual misconduct, right? So killing beings. When we consider killing beings, or that Queen Mallika, the queen of Kim Pasenadi Kosala, one of the life, she killed a goat, right, for the party to take them meat. Then because of that bad karma she did, she was born 400, 500 times as a she goat. And all the time she died after cutting off her head. Even the last birth, when one Brahmin brought her the she goat to cut her head. So then when they were giving her bath, she was smiling, then after that crying. Then all the servants said that this goat is a little bit different, and she was brought to their master, and master asked that why you were smiling and why you were crying. So I was smiling because I am happy because I experienced 499 times. I died because of my head was head cut off, and this is the last birth. And the reason I was crying, so after me, and I paid off my whole bad karma, you are going to start the same journey. And the Brahmin said, no, we are not going to kill you. We are going to save you. That way, when she was brought, she said, no, you cannot save me. When they brought her to other place to hand over, and she was eating grass, all of a sudden there was a thunder, and there was a rock. The piece of rock came and cut off her head, right? So she died. So you know that when we give some food to an animal, how much good karma we can gain? 100 good karma we can gain, right? If you kill animal, how much we have to suffer? 500 times. You know that if you give some food to a man or woman, just an immoral person, how much good karma we can get? 1,000 amount of good karma. However, we killed a man or woman, we have to suffer 5,000 times. Okay, so think about that. In this world, there are per day there are so many abortions because they are intoxicated with their youth, right? They don't consider they are getting older. Say they do bad things. Or these are the bodily conduct. Let's go to other one. Other one is verbal conduct. There are 4 types of verbal conduct. So either good or bad: false speech, derisive speech, and gossip, harsh speech, and opposite of that, abstain from false speech, abstain from derisive speech, abstain from harsh speech, and abstain from gossip. Okay. So these are the verbal conduct. And what are the mental conduct? 3 types of mental conduct. So covetousness, bad verbal mental conduct, covetousness, ill will and hate and wrong view, and the good mental conduct, appreciate joy, loving kindness, right view, either worldly right view or noble right view. Okay. So just to give that understand, what are the world noble right view is 4 noble truths. What are the worldly right view? So just go through these quickly. This one. There are 10 worldly right views. As a result of practicing generosity, as a result of offerings, if you offer something to Bodhi tree or stupa or monks, there's a result of that. There's a result of doing voluntary services, right? There's good and result of good action and bad result of bad action. When you do good karma, bad karma, you have that action. There's a world called this world. We are living in this world. Some people don't believe that we are in this world, right? And there's a world called next world. There's life after death. There's a special man called my father. When you kill your father, it's grave offense. Someone who killed their father, so they will be born into bad destination. There's a special woman called my mother, and there are spontaneously born beings without any father or mother. They will be born either heavenly world or ghost world or some part of animal world, in hell. So very small percentage, 0.01% in human world. Okay. There are ascetics who can understand this world and next world without any teacher. This is called worldly right view. So that the next one is understanding Four Noble Truths. The Noble Truth of Suffering, Noble Truth of Reason for Suffering, the Noble Truth of the cessation of suffering, Noble Truth of path to end the suffering. These are the things, and these are the verbal, then 3 bad bodily conduct, and 3 good verbal conduct. Then 4, bodily conduct, 4 verbal conduct, and 3 mental conduct. So if you go to Sutta again, and that is why Buddha said, because beings are intoxicated by their youth, they do bad bodily conduct, right? Because that in the previous life, Mallika was, intoxicated, did that one, right? Bodily conduct and verbal conduct and mental conduct. So those are the result. So when somebody is thinking in this way, what will happen? They are intoxicated, totally abandoned or diminished. That's the reason Buddha is saying. The second one, and for what? For the sake of what benefit should a woman or man, a householder, one gone forth, often reflect us? I am subject to illness. I am not exempt from illness. In a state of health, beings are intoxicated with their health, right? And when they are intoxicated with their health, what will happen? They never think they are getting older. They engage in misconduct by body, speech, and mind. But when somebody is thinking that always, they are going to be sick. What will happen? So their bad bodily, verbal, and mental conduct is diminished or totally abandoned. Because what happened? Because some beings, they are intoxicated with their health. Same like again that their mind is not normal. They are intoxicated with their health. We live like 85 years, 85 years, 75 years, or 80 years. Very long, small period. So they think that before that they are getting sick, right? These days, especially, people are getting sick very easily. So, and when somebody thinks this way that they are getting always, they are getting sick. So what will happen? Their intoxication with health either completely abandoned or diminished. This is the reason Buddha is saying a woman or a man, householder or one gone forth, monks or nun, should often reflect, I am subject to illness, I am not exempt from illness. This is kind of insight, develop our wisdom. Buddha gave that to think this way. Okay. Number 3. And for the sake of what benefit should a woman or man, householder, one gone forth, often reflect us? I am subject to death. I am not exempt from death. During their lives, beings are intoxicated with life. Right? That's intoxication with life. Even though we live that short period of time, intoxicated with life. And when they are intoxicated with life, they engage in misconduct by body, speech, and mind. They think they are going to live forever, right? So they are doing bad things by body, speech, and mind. So when somebody is thinking this way, oh, we are going to die, they are not going to do bad things by body, speech, or mind, because either they are going to abandon that or totally diminish from that. The reason, number 3. Okay, so the fourth one, and for the sake of what benefit should a man or woman, a householder, one going forth, often reflect thus, I am be parted and separate from everyone and everything dear and agreeable to me. Right, so I have to say goodbye, my loved things and my loved ones. And so what will happen that with the attachment, if you die, definitely you will come back, right? So the person you attach, so you come back as not as a human, as a ghost, right? So that is the danger of that. Somebody is this attachment. So there was a nice thing happened in the Buddha's time. One monk, one guy, he listened to Dhamma. He thought, okay, I better be a monk. He said to his wife, and he became a monk. And he was practicing, so his wife started to send him the message, so I can't stay. So I'm going to die. So I'm in a very hard time. What happened? The monk's thoughts are destroyed. So when he told his teacher told, okay, let's go and talk to Buddha. Then when they met the Buddha said, the same woman, because of the same woman, you were on a pail to death, and you were born into bad destination. All the monks were inquisitive to listen to that talk. What happened in the previous life? Buddha said, then in the previous life, you were very poor and you married to the same woman. And there's a system that same people we meet again and again, right? And one day there was a festival that people are going outside. They were poor and they did not have a proper clothes. They whatever they had, they washed and they ironed them and they started to dress. That time the wife started to say and cry that because I cannot go with this one. I need that there's a very expensive flower in the king's garden. I want that when we put that flowers to that dress, it is very, very, it will come very good smell from the clothes, and it is red color. So that flowers are red color. So I want to make the red color. I want to hang with you and that go with you, close to you, and for this festival. And what happened that guy? So, and he said, oh, how can we get that one? Get that one. Then she said, that very cleverful man, he can get that one from the king's park, right? She was saying to steal, because he was intoxicated with that, and he went to get that flower. He got caught, and came to know that he came to steal, and they ordered to put him on a pail. So in a pail that it will go behind that when they sit on a pail, that it will go inside from his body. But he was thinking it is not painful for that. When he was that on the pail, or the crows, they came and they're eating their his eyes. Then he was thinking, this is not painful. The thorn is going inside my body. It is not painful. The crows are eating my eyes. It is not painful. Only painful is the things I couldn't go with my wife, and it's closer to her, and with the red color or the clothes, right? By thinking that one, he was born into hell. So Buddha explained, the same woman now trying to make you disrobe, right? Trying to disrobe you. By saying this one, he became that stream entrance. So that that sometimes there are things that covering up become an stream entrance. So this is the kind of Jataka story Buddha explained. Okay, so this is the danger of the attachment. because of the attachment that monk in the previous life, he was on a pail, and so he was born into bad destination. So because of the Buddha, he is saved. So always danger. So by thinking that way, so there is a danger. So by thinking that so I had to say goodbye to my loved one and loved things. You can remove the attachment to the loved ones and loved things, right? Okay, the fifth one. What benefit Buddha is saying that karma is the karma is owner, the owner of my karma, they are of my karma. I have the karma as my origin because they are intoxicated without even thinking the karma. What happened? They do bad things. So people engage in misconduct by body, speech, and mind. But when somebody thinks always in this way, such misconduct is either completely abandoned or diminished. It is for the sake of this benefit that a woman, man, or householder, or someone who became monk, or they have to think this way. I'm the owner of my karma, the heir of my karma. I have karma as my origin, karma as my relative, karma as my result. I'll be the heir of whatever karma, good or bad, that I do. When we do everything with our thoughts, so it will store in the karma. When we die, our consciousness will go with that karma, either good destination or bad destination. Okay, that's why. So, and this is the way Buddha is saying that the way to think, the 5 ways. Why? Because if somebody thinks always that I am getting older because of the youth is intoxicated with youth, and they do bad things by bodily conduct, verbal conduct, and mental conduct. Then either completely abandon that one or diminished. That's the reason. The second one, I am getting sick. So because of the health, they are doing bad things by body, speech, and mind. Third one, I am getting older. So by the I'm dying, right? So because of the life, intoxicated life, they do bad things by body, speech, and mind. So the fourth one, I had to say goodbye to my loved one and loved things, right? Because people attached to that one, they do bad things, right? So they try to get their loved ones and loved things. They want to keep that all the time. So this is the reason. And fifth one, if they think that I'm owner of the karma, so because usually people don't think that way, they do by body, speech, or mind, they do bad things. So when you think that I am the owner of my karma, so whatever do good or bad things, I'm the owner of that karma. So when somebody thinks that way, so they are either completely uh, abandoned their bad conduct by bodily bad conduct, verbal bad conduct, or mental bad conduct. And that's the way Buddha is asking. And that is the insight that develop in our eye, or open our eye and think in that way, okay, to protect us, not to do bad things. Now it will come to the next one. So next one is developing the path and so end the cycle of rebirth. The first one, this noble disciple reflect thus. So I am not the only one who is subject to old age, not exempt from old age. All beings that come and go, that passes away and undergo rebirth, are subject to old age. None are exempt from old age. So everybody, those who are dying from here, rebirth again another place, they are also experience for aging. As he often reflects on this thing, what will happen? So by thinking that way, so even be born into heavenly world, Brahma world, so yeah, the time limit is over, right? Even that you're born in rich, so you're getting older. So even if you were born in different countries, what will happen? You will be older, right? So you know that what is happening that all people that when they get older, well, where they go? They go to old age homes, right? And most people, when we go for Parita Chane, sometime we go, they are just watching TV. There's no development of mind. Okay, so most people, that is the story of most of Western people, and so we have to think that Buddha is giving that, and not only me, not only I, none are exempt from old age, right? So, and those who are born into other place, right, or the heavenly world, so we are not exempt from that. As he often reflects on this theme, the path is generated. Which path? Path? Eight Noble Path. He pursues this path, develops it, and cultivates it. As he does so, the fetters are entirely abandoned, right? And underlying tendencies are uprooted. What will happen with this one? They are going to achieve enlightenment, right? The fetters, there are 10 fetters, right? So identity view, right? And wrong practices. What are those things? Identity view, wrong practices, sakkādita vichikiච්ඡā, and doubt. Then after that, sakkādita vichikiච්ඡā, sīlabbata paramāsa. Then lust, kamaraga, sensual desire, kamaraga, padika, and ill will. Lust for forms, lust for formulas, restlessness, conceit, and ignorance. All these, that is called fetters, are entirely abandoned. And underlying tendencies are uprooted. What are the underlying tendencies? There are some that is called ashrava, anusava, anusaya. So these are those, they are hidden in our mind, in someone's life. They are not visible. So environmental will create, they will come up, right? Those are totally uprooted. So there are 7 types of underlying tendencies. The first one, underlying tendencies, the underlying tendencies to sensual lust, which is called kama raga anusaya. The underlying tendencies to aversion, patigha anusaya. The underlying tendencies to views, ditthya anusaya. The underlying tendencies to doubt, moha anusaya. The underlying tendencies to conceit, mana anusaya. The underlying tendencies to lust for existence, bhavaraga anusaya. So they like to be born again and again. The underlying tendencies to ignorance, avidya anusaya. Right? So all these anusaya, or the underlying tendencies, are uprooted, and all the 10 fetters are entirely abandoned. So we know that 10 fetters, that lower fetter and upper fetters, right? Lower fetters are what are that? Identity view, doubt, wrong practices, ill will, and sensual desire. Because this lower fetters, we were born into, we were bound to lower destinations, right? That the karma loka, that the sensual world. So when somebody becomes Sotapanna, they will remove all the three fetters: identity view, doubt of Dhamma, and wrong practices. Okay, so they will escape these three, mainly these three fetters. Other fetters will be born into bad destination, like ghost world, animal world, hell. So will be so somebody remove that all these totally abandon these three fetters. He'll be Sotapanna. He won't be born into hell, animal world, ghost world, and Asura world, four bad worlds. Okay, this is the, so when somebody thinks that way, not I am the not only myself experiencing old age, anybody who will be die from here and be born into other destination, who will be born here again, and we are all experience the uh, old age. Okay, that's the second, first one. The second one, this noble disciple reflects thus: I am not the only one who is subject to illness, not exempt from illness. All beings that come and go, that passes away and undergo rebirth, are subject to illness. None are exempt from illness. So when somebody thinks this way, the path is generated, and he pursues this path, develops it, and cultivates it. As he does so, the fetters are entirely abandoned. The underlying tendencies are uprooted. This is something we can think always, right? This is a very powerful thing Buddha taught us always to think, right? As a meditation, right? So we know that the time when we are passing, that we are thinking something unnecessary things, right? So this is the thing we can add. Okay. Now this noble disciple reflects the third one: I am not the only one who is subject to death, not exempt from death. All beings that come and go, that passes away and undergo rebirth, are subject to death. None are exempt from death. As he often reflects on this theme, the path is generated, Eight Noble Path is generated. He pursues this path and develops it and cultivates it, and he does so. The fetters are entirely abandoned and underlying tendencies are uprooted. The third one. The fourth one, this noble disciple reflects thus: I am not the only one who must be parted and be separate from everyone and everything dear and agreeable. All beings that come and go, that passes away and undergo rebirth, must be parted and separate from everyone and everything dear and agreeable. So everyone has to say goodbye to their loved ones and loved things, properties, children, their, that whatever treasure they have to say goodbye to them. It doesn't matter whether you are educated, uneducated, you are intelligent, not intelligent, right? So you are rich, you are not rich. Wherever the part of the world you live, so we all have to experience this one. Okay, that's the fourth one. Fifth one, this noble disciple reflects thus: I am not the only one who is the owner of karma, the heir of one's karma, who has come as one's origin, come as one's relative. So everyone are their owner of karma, right? As he often reflects on this theme, the path is generated. He pursues this path, develops it, and cultivates it. And as he does so, the fetters are entirely abandoned. The the underlying tendencies are uprooted. So these 5 things we can think to change our life, right? From the Buddha's teachings. All right, by understanding this one, may all of us be fortunate to understand 4 noble truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, question time.
Namo Buddhaya Bhante.
Now,
What was one of the underlying tendencies? There was sensual lust, aversion, views, doubt, lust for existence, ignorance. I think I missed one. Which one was that one, Bhante?
okay, it's time from the first one, the underlying tendencies to sensual lust, kama raga anusaya. The second one, underlying tendencies to aversion, patiga anusaya, so that you get anger, right? So usual that we stay normal, but environment will come that all these underlying tendencies will come to make you angry, right? That is called patiga anusaya.
Yes.
The underlying tendencies to views, ditthi anusaya, right? So we have wrong some views. Then underlying tendencies to doubt, moha anusaya. Then underlying tendencies to conceit, mana anusaya. Underlying tendencies to lust for existence, bhava raga anusaya. Underlying tendencies to ignorance, avijja anusaya. Those are the 7 underlying tendencies.
Anusaya, right, Swami?
Anusaya. Anusaya. That those the anusaya, that means that those are not visible, right? But it is inside all of us. The environment will create, those will come and do the bad things, right? To make the bad things. All right. So everybody understood this sutta. This is something to practice. Buddha gave that. Okay, somebody can tell that the first one always Buddha advised to reflect the first one.
I am subject. One should reflect. I am subject to old age, and I am not exempted from old age.
Yes. Let me remove that so I can see everyone. Okay. I'm not exempt from old age. Right. The second one.
Bhante, I'm subject to illness and I'm not exempt from illness.
Right. The third one.
Bhante, I am subject to death and not exempted from death.
From death. The fourth one.
Bhante, I am. One day we must part from and be separated from everyone and everything dear and agreeable to me.
Yeah, fourth one. Fifth one. So others. What about others? Prasad and Senaha. And Dilum? Dilum ni मैं?
I'm the origin of my good and bad karma.
I'm the owner of my karma, right? Karma is my result. Why he is saying that Buddha is advising to do that one? What is the problem with that thinking that the first one, I am not exempted, so think in this way. So I'm getting older. What is the reason for that?
The reason is beings are intoxicated with the youth, and then because they're intoxicated, they engage in misconduct with the body, speech, and the mind.
Bodily
Conducts, misconduct
verbal
by body,
conduct and
verbal, and mental.
Mental conduct. So, and when you think that way, so what will happen to that? I'm getting old. I'm getting older. So what will happen?
Then that view would eventually cease, and then it helps to lower the fetters and the underlying tendencies.
Yeah, I mean that initially that it will help to abandon those the conceit, right? So the that intoxication that youth as youth that intoxication that because it will help that either totally abandon doing verbal, mental, bodily, verbal, and mental conduct, abandon or at least diminish and reduce it, right? So that's the reason. And second one, the same reason. And third one, the same reason. Fourth one, fifth one. So the second one, so why people are doing that bad things when which kind of intoxication they have?
Intoxication of health.
Intoxication of health, right? Third one, intoxication of to remove the
Life.
right? Intoxication of life, right? So the fourth one,
Intoxication of the desire and lust.
attachment.
Or attachment. Sorry.
Yeah. Fifth one, because when they think that they do bad things by body, mm, by speech, and by mind, when they think that way, so they are going to abandon it or stop it, or at least minimize it. So this is the way that he was saying that. Remember that the Love War movie, right? And what happened to Mallika? Okay, so because of that attachment, because of that, the killing, right? So, and what are the three bodily conduct, bad bodily conduct?
Killing,
Yes,
killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct.
and four bad verbal conduct.
Telling lies, harsh speech, malicious speech, and gossip, and idle chatter.
Yeah, I'll chatter. And what are the three bad mental conduct?
Oh, sorry, Bhante, is it covetousness, ill will, and wrong view? Bhante?
Wrong view.
Wrong view, yes.
Okay, can you explain that wrong view? There are a few types of wrong view, right? What are how many types of wrong view?
10 types of worldly wrong views, Bhante.
Another one is noble.
Noble right view. Noble right view.
Noble right view. Noble right view is understanding Four Noble Truths. What are the worldly right view?
Practicing.
Go ahead, please.
You can go ahead. Okay, practicing the result of practicing generosity, that's a worldly right view.
Don't you remember all of 10?
Oh, okay, yes, honestly. Then offerings, results of offerings. Then there's a good results with good actions and bad results of bad actions. Then
And there's a result of
doing voluntarily services.
Services, yes.
And respecting others.
Yeah.
Then there's this world called this world. There's a world called this world. Then there's a world called next world or future worlds. And there's the next world. And there's a special man called my father. There's a special a woman called my mother. And then there are beings reborn spontaneously. And there are ascetics who understand this world, and the next.
This world and next world. Right. Okay. Very good. And so then next one, when you come to next one, that when you think that I am not the only one who is going to be older, so anyone who is going to birth in other places, coming to birth, and they are all going to be older. So when you think that one, the path will be generated, and all the fetters will be abandoned. What are those fetters?
There are 10 fetters, Bhante.
10 fetters. Yeah. So what are those fetters? I think others can join as well. Sheila and Curtis.
Yes.
And what are those fetters? Those are the fetters, the two types of fetters, lower fetters and upper fetters. What are the lower fetters?
Identity view,
Identity view,
doubt of the Dhamma,
yeah,
and wrong practices.
Wrong practices. That's two more.
Ill will and sensual desire.
Ill will and sensual desire. What are the three fetters bring us to the bad destination?
The first three: identity view, doubtful of Dhamma, and wrong practices. So someone who is Sotapanna would abandon those three.
Okay, so what about the once returner? Somebody became once returner, which kind of fetters he will remove? He will remove the three, and what will happen to sensual desire and ill will?
Bhante, he will weaken those two.
Weak those things. Somebody became non-returner, anagami, they will remove all these 5 fetters, right? So they have upper fetters. Upper fetters always help to be born into upper world, like Brahma world, right? Then lust for formless world, lust for formless world, right? There's a possibility they will be born into a formless world, right? That's the Sutta explains that, what are the forms of formless world? Akasanyayatana, Akinchanyayatana, Nevasanyayatana, right? Akasanyayatana, Vinyachanyayatana, Akinchanyayatana, Nevasanyayatana. So he will be born into, he is Sotapanna, but he likes that meditation. Nevasanya, no perception, no non-perception, right? This world. He developed that samadhi, and at the end of that his life, he will be born into that world. But at the end of that lifespan, he won't come back. He attain Parinibbana. That's a special case. Okay. Somebody who became Sotapanna, he lacks that samadhi. He develops it. As a result of that, he will be born into that destination. What are the destination? Neva sanya, na sanyayatana. Right? Neither perception nor non-perfect perception world. All right. So, what is this name of the sutta? Very easy one.
It's Ṭhāna Sutta.
And in English?
The theme.
Theme. Where is it is located?
Anguttara Nikaya.
Anguttara Nikaya, numerical discourses. So,
and which books, which sections are those?
It is a book number 5 and sutta number 57.